Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I got an interesting story here where two women are being sentenced to, in my opinion, not nearly long enough, of 10 years in prison for luring a man to a hotel room with the promise of a threesome before robbing him and then deleting him. Okay. So there is going to be footage to show. It said detectives found explicit videos on the man's phone showing sexual acts involving the two women. The women lured him under the promise of a threesome before robbing and deleting him. Alta Marino Solano, which was the man's name, was last seen smiling in footage, taking the women to his room. A housekeeper then found him with a gunshot wound to the chest. So this is premeditated. This is basically murder one. And here's the video.
My condolences to Brian's family.
21-year-old Erica Covington apologizes for killing a man inside a Caesars Palace hotel room before a judge sentences her to prison.
I deeply, genuinely apologize for the grief and the pain that has been brought upon you guys' family.
She and 22-year-old Ariana Taylor killed and robbed 25-year-old Brian Altamirano Solano in May 2023. This video the 8 News Now investigators obtained shortly afterward shows the trio walking hand in hand minutes before the murder.
No le bastó con robarle sus pertenencias.
Altamirano Solano's father speaking with the help of an interpreter. It wasn't enough just taking his belongings, he says. They had to kill him. Altamirano Solano and the girls were in his room for about 15 minutes before one of them pulled the trigger. Police finding a cartridge casing they say matched Taylor's gun.
My condolences to
So the reason that I wanted to point this out is this is one of the reasons why it's so important to warn about these hyenas and the things that they get up to, the young ones, whatever, doesn't matter that they're young. That deleting men is not off the table. It's not. This is why the alarm gets sounded, and we talk about the way in which hyenas operate, because they will delete you. Hyenas would do that's them running after the fact. Look how this man is smiling. These chicks premeditated. I don't know how they're getting away with 10 years. These two hyenas, this was premeditated deletion. You can't, premeditated means you plan to do that beforehand. This wasn't self-defense. This wasn't, accidental. This wasn't anything like that. They specifically chose this victim, probably, talked him up, flirting with him, get him, interested, get him riled up, get him to take him back to his room. Don't do the sex part. Immediately at gunpoint, rob him. And then not only do you rob him, you delete him with a shotgun wound to the chest. I'm trying to figure out where this shot, not a shotgun, I'm sorry, a gunshot wound to the chest, not a shotgun. That's my fault. So one of them had a piece in their purse or whatever, and this was the plan. They talked it over but among themselves. They picked a man that they felt would go for it. Got him to go for it. with the promise of easy coochie. You know, he gonna have him an experience with 2 chicken heads. He gonna tell his boys later, you know, yeah, I was in Vegas, you know, what going in Vegas, stay in Vegas. What happened in Vegas, stay in Vegas, and all that kind of stuff. And then they delete this man. The kicker to me is the time. 10 years for premeditated deletion? Since when? And they don't look sorry to me. They don't look remorseful. They don't look remorseful. They don't look like this wasn't something that like they devastated. Who knows how many times they've done that? How many times have these two done that? Right? Because even if they have not deleted nobody before this, they've been setting dudes up and robbing them. They've been doing that. Because that's not off the table for these hyenas. This is why the concept of, you know, don't be following all these chicks around just because they throwing coochie at you. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Your spidey senses gotta come up to some of these chicks. This is because it's not all what it seems, because you could lose your life dealing with them. And notice it's not all the time, it's not every time, but you could lose your life dealing, because chicks set dudes up. That's what I'm trying to say. They'll set you up. You don't know them. They don't know you. You know what I'm saying? But they have already marked you out. They have already, you know what I'm saying, picked you out of the crowd and decided that you're going to be the target. You're the easy mark for whatever reason. Whether you look like you got money or you look like you're easily distracted by a big booty. You easily distracted by, you know what I'm saying, a chick come smile at you, yo, she young, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? And here you go. And what they'll do is they preying on that specific response. They're preying on, we can get you so distracted that you won't pay attention to any surroundings, or you won't suspect anything. That's what these hyenas is preying on. Because like I said, even if they had never deleted nobody before, this they've done plenty of times. Because that's their little scheme. That's their little scheme. They go down the strip, up and down the strip. You know what I'm saying? To the different hotels, blah, blah, blah. Be in the whatever part of the hotel. Maybe they in the casino part. Maybe they in the restaurant part. I don't know. Lobby part, whatever. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. You cute. Ooh, you so cute. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Whatever little game they spitting. You know, people come to Vegas for these types of experiences. So your guard may be a little bit down than it would be if you was back home or if you was in your normal environment. And they counting on that. They're counting on it. They counting on it, just like a serial killer hunts. They go to specific places. They try to pick out specific people. They think about what these people are doing or thinking about in these particular environments, how to approach people. And it's predatory. It's predatory, to say the very least. So people come to Vegas specifically a lot of times to engage in various vices, either of a gambling nature or a sexual nature. They want to have certain experiences. They want to, you know what I'm saying? They want to do it. And, you know, a lot of folks, I would assume and imagine, had they first threesome there, or they took a trip, and, you know what I'm saying, man, now they got a story to tell when they come back, and da 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 da, whatever. But it's also, you got to keep your wits about you, because it's a hunting ground also. People hunt other people for various reasons, because you're there to have fun. your guard might be a bit down. People are drinking, people are smoking, people are, you know what I'm saying, taking drugs. They are impaired to a certain degree. Their perception might be off to a certain degree. So therefore, easier to pick them off, easier to target these people because they're not paying attention, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. You know, the senses aren't as sharp as they would have been in another scenario or in another environment. And this is what these two was counting on. And they found a victim. I guarantee you, even if he's the first deletion, which I'm questionable about, he's definitely not the first victim of robbery. That's them two's little scheme, baby. They came up with a little scheme. They said, oh, these dudes like big booties and threesomes and all that. We're going to use that. And we're going to go up to these guys and we're going to act like we're going to do it. And then when we get them alone, get them in the hotel room, wherever, we're going to jump them. You pull out the gun, we're going to rob them. And then they step that up. In this, at least in this instance too, that we know of, they step that up to a deletion. But this is how predation works. See, serial killers didn't necessarily start out killing. They start out stalking the victims, you know, making contact just to see how far things could possibly go. They work themselves up. And then they finally start deleting people. Oh, this will work. And they finally start deleting people, and they're very methodic about it. I don't know how they got away with not murder one on this one. The judge, somebody need to be investigated, because what? This was just astonishing to me. How females can get away with stuff like that in this society. People don't see nothing wrong with the way in which society has moved. Even when women are the clear predators and the clear aggressors and the clear assailants, still getting what basically amounts to a slap on the wrist. These women are in their early 20s. You mean to tell me, even if they serve every year of it without no parole, they're only going to be in their early 30s? That's plenty enough time to live their life. No, not when you took a life like that. Not when you did that. This not no self-defense case. This not no muddy case where, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, you can't really, you know what I'm saying, figure out the intent. The intent was quite clear. Very clear. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host, the Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.